Facts First presents 40 subway photos not for the faint of heart. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. The subway. Anyone who has ever ridden the subway will tell you that it's a great place to watch people. People from all walks of life ride the subway, and some aren't afraid to let their freak flags fly. Here are 40 subway photos not for the faint of heart. Can you blame him? People drop things on the subway stairs all the time, mainly food. This rat took advantage of a whole piece of pizza being dropped on the stairs. It's pizza. Can you really blame him? Serious balance. This guy had a lot to carry on the crowded subway. Rather than taking up seats with his tray or getting in other riders' ways, he decided to balance it on his head. As long as the subway doesn't make an abrupt stop, he should be alright. Is that Flava Flav? This woman is wearing a giant clock around her neck like Flava Flav from Public Enemy. Maybe her vision is so bad that a watch just won't do. It's a pretty crazy fashion statement, even for the subway. Perfect timing. Whoever took this photo had their camera ready just at the right time. Rather than standing, this woman should have sat down next to the man, and this would never have happened. Subway fail. The perfect placement. This guy is sitting in the perfect spot. From behind, he looks like he's sitting on the subway handcuffed. Do you really think that these warning signs will stop people from tagging up the subway? A potential delay. Judging by the looks of things, the train might be delayed for a while. You might need to take an alternate route. Einstein was on my train. How shocked was this person when they saw Albert Einstein get on the subway? He was smart enough to have theories on time travel, but he couldn't find a way to avoid riding the subway. Weird. Even rhinos ride the subway. Riding the subway isn't just for humans anymore. Clearly, rhinos are also allowed. At least he isn't an aggressive one. Bigfoot doesn't live in the woods. All these people have been searching for Bigfoot in the woods and the mountains, and the whole time he's been living in New York City. He even rides the subway. I wonder where he keeps his Metro card. The woman sitting beside him doesn't seem very impressed. Two different worlds. When you venture onto the subway, you're going to meet people from different walks of life. These two guys couldn't be more different. It's cosplay meets everyday life. Why is she taking the subway? If this woman has a crazy little car, then why is she taking the subway? You have to wonder how she got that thing down into the subway and onto the train by herself. She looks awfully frail. Modern art. One great thing about riding the subway is what you'll see. Not only can you get from point A to point B on the subway, you can also enjoy some pretty crazy art. The subway is a fantastic place. No food allowed. You'll find this sign regarding eating on the subway on just about every car. The problem is, people don't pay attention to the sign. This is why you'll find spilled food and beverages all over the train. It will never feel like the beach. Someone thought painting the subway with a coastline and footprints on a beach would make it feel like a trip to the ocean. It was a really nice try, but there isn't anything you can do to change the look and feel of the subway. The first thing they should tackle is the smell. Pikachu. Why? All this time we thought Pikachu was an adorable character from Pokemon. Who knew that he ate humans? You have to feel for the poor soul who was eaten by him. Why so down, guys? Why are the Power Rangers so down? They had a hit TV show, they know martial arts. What is there to be upset about? Maybe they just aren't happy to be riding the subway. This is a disgrace. Nothing tastes better than a pizza fresh from the oven. This woman must have been exhausted to have fallen asleep without first securing her pizza. She must have been pretty upset when she woke up and found her dinner on the floor. Making himself at home. Not too many people travel with their living room coffee table, but this guy does. Talk about making yourself at home on the subway. Boning up on his skills. This guy is tired of being alone, so he bought a book to teach him how to pick up women on the subway. His first mistake was bringing the book on the subway and reading it there. He could have remembered what he learned at home or even take notes. Anything would be better than this. Not your average family. This isn't something you see every day. If this was all for the child's benefit, these are some really great parents. Is this sign really necessary? It's unfortunate when the Department of Transportation has to put up a sign asking people not to use the subway poles for dance routines. It makes you wonder how many people were pole dancing in the subway before they hung this sign. That's a big dog. We always see women carrying tiny dogs around in their purses. This guy saw that and he got a brilliant idea. This certainly isn't a tiny dog, but it works. Always bring a plunger. When you ride the subway every day, you learn a few tricks. This woman brought her plunger along, giving herself something to hold on to no matter where she's standing. This is different. It isn't every day that you get on the subway and see a goth girl traveling with a giant blackbird. It isn't unusual to see a person riding with a dog, but a bird? We all have our vices. Some people smoke, some people drink, and this shark does both. Everyone has their vices, so just leave this shark alone. He just wants to live his life. Satan rides the subway? Who knew that Satan rides the subway? Maybe his car was in the shop. nap. Perhaps he was searching for a few more souls to take to the underworld. You can find some pretty sad souls on the subway, so he chose an excellent spot for that. Ghostbusters. It isn't too often you see a Ghostbuster on the subway. Hopefully he's on his way to a haunting, and he isn't trying to capture ghosts on the train. When you're really tired. After a long night, it's hard to stay awake while you're on the subway. This guy wanted a nap, but remained sitting up, so he came up with a pretty crazy invention. Using a plunger, some rope, and a flap on his hat, he can make sure he stays sitting up while he sleeps. Some people will do anything to be comfortable on the subway, telling it like it is. It's really refreshing when people are 100% honest. The Department of Transportation is brutally honest with this sign. They let the riders know straight out that the G train will never be on time, and it will show up whenever it does. Honesty is the best policy. She needs her space badly. Some people hate when people invade their personal space. This woman hates it so much she decided to put herself inside a ball to keep the people away. Is this a bit much? Yes. If it works for her, who are we to judge? When you want to be left alone. If you want to be left alone on the subway, bring a giant snake with you. You can see people crowded in the back of the train doing everything possible to stay away from him. He found a way to keep people out of his personal space. Unfortunately, there is no explanation for why there are huge rolls of bills in the front of the shot. Whose money is it? He'll fit, I'm sure of it. This man doesn't go anywhere without his giant panda. He won't even ride the subway without it. He seems pretty sure that it will fit through the doors, even though the officers seem to be a bit less confident than the man is. Do you have to do that here? When you cut onions, they make your eyes burn and tear up. They can also affect everyone around you. It's hard to know why this woman decided to wait until she got on the subway to start cutting the onions. Where was she taking the onions? The guys sitting next to her don't look too happy about her cutting onions beside them. What is really going on? This guy was sitting on the subway, minding his own business, when he looked up and saw 3 huge birds sitting around him. Judging by the look on his face, he wasn't expecting this. Worlds collide. This is what happens when a disciple of the dark side meets the dark knight face to face. Things look pretty intense, and the other subway riders can feel the tension. He won't make it. Turnstiles are only so big. There is an excellent chance that this man's upper body will fit, but the zebra half is gonna get stuck. What is happening? The people on the subway with this girl are just as confused as you are. Why is she wearing this head? Why does she look so distraught? Is everything alright? This isn't something you see every day. Someone's in trouble. When you see a guy writing, "I'm sorry" in the side of a pizza box, you know he had to have done something wrong. How can you not forgive someone who brings you a pizza and an apology? A cat on a mission. This cat looks very intense and alert. He must be on a secret government mission. Is that his owner sitting beside him, or is he out on his own? All the comforts of home. This guy likes to travel in style, even when he's on the subway. You don't see too many people on the subway relaxing in their living room recliner. Which of these was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to Factsverse for more great videos.